Okay guys, good morning. Welcome to this lecture on basic word structure. We're going to be talking about the introduction to medical terminology. So the plan for today's lecture is going to be the learning objectives, the purpose in studying medical terminology, and we're going to finish with the word structure. Nearly every medical term contains one or more roots. It may be also contain one or more prefixes and one or more suffixes. When you start combining parts into words, you will also use a combining form of the root. The learning objectives then for this lecture are going to be discuss the purpose of the medical terminology, identify basic objects to guide you the study of medical language, divide the medical terms into parts, recognize each of the four word parts of the medical terms, prefixes, roots, suffixes, and combining forms. And least but not last, recognize the importance of proper spelling, pronunciation, and use of medical terms. So why we should start learning medical terminology? Medical terminology includes all of the specialized that medical professionals use to identify human anatomy and physiology, as well as words that indicate location, direction, planes of the body, medical status, and instructions for administering medication. Understanding and being comfortable with the technical language of medicine are keys to a successful career as a doctor. Your ability to use and understand the technical language to communicate verbally and in breathing are essential for your patient's safety, high-quality patient care, precise interaction with other medical professionals, and your own self-esteem as a medical professional. When medical terms are separated from the intended context, it is easy to lose sight of how important it is to use them accurately. Learning medical terminology in the context of medical setting reinforces the importance of correct usage in communication. So, besides these, we have to learn how to analyze the words by dividing them into component parts, and this will going to be our strategy as we are learning the basic medical terminology. Each time we find a word, we're going now to divide it to find the appropriate meaning. And by doing this, we are going to start learning new words and how these words combine with each other to form new other medical terms. We're going to, of course, relate these medical terms to the structure and function of the human body. We're going to have several cases, clinical cases and scenarios in which we're going to apply this new word you just learned, you just created. Relating these medical terms in a medical context is really important to really understand the meaning and how do we use this word. Of course, boosting your confidence as you get to learn more languages or more words, more vocabulary, you're going to be able to communicate more and more with other medical professionals. So let's start with word parts. The fundamental unit of each word is called the root. This establishes the basic meaning of the word, and it is the part to which modifying prefixes and suffixes are added. So we have our basic root word, and our root word usually comes from the Greek or the Latin. This word is going to tell us the central meaning of the whole medical term. A suffix is a short word or part of series that added at the end of the root to modify its meaning. So the suffix "su" means end. So each time we see a word that has a root and something that at the end of this word, this is a suffix. we're gonna go talk a little bit further in the next slides. And of course, the prefix is a short word that's added before a root to modify its meaning. It's the same example as the suffix, but before, it's added before. The prefix pre, it's a prefix that's meaning it's before. So we have suffixes, we have prefixes, and we have root words. And basically, the constructed term is made out of prefixes, word combining forms, and suffixes. This non-constructed term makes up the whole medical terminology, or the whole terminology, or the whole term that we're going to be using. For example, the word cardiology or cardi, the root cardi. We're going to talk about a little bit later on. So the root word, it's the foundation of the word. The prefix, it's coming at the beginning of the word, and the suffix goes at the end of the word. But we have another important term to analyze, which is a combining vowel. A combining vowel is a vowel which is usually letter O that links the word root to another word root or a suffix. For example, we have cardi. Cardi is our root word. Cardi means heart. But if we add O-gram, gram means record, and we add O, because this is the combining vowel, and this is used to avoid cacophony or to make the pronunciation of the word better or easier to pronounce. That's the whole purpose of adding a combining vowel. So cardiogram. And in cardiogram, we see the record of the heart. But what if we add to cardi the word peri? In this case, pericardium. Pericardium, peri means around, and because we have the word cardi before after, now we're talking about something that goes around the heart, pericardium. But what if we add the suffix itis? In this case, carditis. Itis means inflammation, and so carditis gets to be inflammation of the heart. So the basic word structure is prefix, root, and suffix. And this combination makes up a medical term. Let's discuss now the word cardi. Cardi means heart in Greek, and so cardiologist. The suffix logist is the one who specializes. And we have here another combining vowel, O. So cardiologist. So the meaning of the word is the one who specializes in the study of diseases and disorders of the heart. But what about cardiology? Logi means the study of. It's another Greek suffix. We add an O. We add an O to cardiology and make it the study of the heart. Carditis. What about carditis? Well, carditis, it is, as I said before, is inflammation, which is a suffix, a Greek suffix. And then we add cardi to our root. We add itis, and we have carditis, inflammation of the heart. And ac, cardiac, in this case, ac means pertaining to. It's another suffix, and when we add it to the heart, we get cardiac. For example, cardiac vessels, cardiac muscles. Okay, so I guess up to now you have figured out what's the rule for the combining forms. Have you had it now by now? Before we go on to the rules, it's important to remember that a prefix always comes before the root or the combining form. A suffix is a word ending that comes after the word roots or combining forms. The word root or combining form provides primary meaning of the term. The combining vowel for the most words is O. The vowels I and E are also used in some cases. If the combining form is to be joined with another root word or combining form that begins with a consonant, retain the combining vowel. When adding a suffix starting with a vowel to a combining form, drop the combining vowel. Prefixes do not require combining vowels to join with other word parts. Rarely, a prefix will drop its ending vowel to combine with another word part. It is really important to notice. And medical terms are deciphered by breaking them into parts, then deciding the first suffix, then the prefix, and then the root words or combining forms. This is the easiest way to understand medical terms. So for example, let's get now talking to combining forms. When we have a root and then we have a suffix that starts with a consonant, in the most cases, we're going to add an O for in this case. So we have root, O, and suffix. All of the suffixes that start with a consonant. For example, neurology. We have our root, nur, which means nerve, and we have a suffix which is logi, which is the study of. Because this suffix starts with a consonant, then we add a combining form to facilitate pronunciation. So in this case, it would be neurology and not neurology. You see the difference? Neurology or neurology. It's easier to pronounce. That's the main point of the combining vowels or the combining forms. In fact, the combining vowel, it's just the O, and the combining form, it's the root plus the combining vowel. That's the combining form. Okay, so combining forms, it's a word root in combination with the vowel used to link the root with a suffix. For example, neuro. The prefix is a word that's added before a root to modify its meaning. The root word is the central and fundamental unit of the word, and the suffix is a word part added at the end of its meaning. Okay, so we have 4 important medical terms or word structure terms. We have prefixes, we have root words, combining vowels, and of course combining forms and suffixes. These are going to be our main characters, our main actors, where we're trying to decipher medical terminology. Do you have any questions? Please let me know in the chat forum or by email. This is the bibliography of the presentation. And thank you so much for your attention.